Good afternoon, everyone. Jonathan Davis here with Davis AutoSports. First and foremost, want to apologize for the background. We got a lot of construction going on in this part of the shop. This is actually our reconditioning department, but due to other areas being under construction as well, I'm shooting in here, and it's also been raining all day. With that said, you guys are viewing a absolutely gorgeous 2003 Chevy Tahoe Z71. We did a ton of work to this truck, cosmetically, mechanically, lots of restoration work. I'm the owner of Davis AutoSports. I've always loved this particular SUV that General Motors made one of my all-time favorites. I've owned many of them. When this truck came in, starting off as a 03 Z71 Tahoe, I was considering at the time of keeping it, which is one of the reasons we did so much work to it, mostly because of the previous owner and how well they maintained this truck. Usually these trucks are very high mileage, family vehicles, sort of not taken care of, and when you find one as nice as this one was, it was a perfect truck for me to bring into the shop and make even nicer. So I'll do a quick walk around just so you can get an overall look. Once again, apologize for the background, lots of construction going on. You will be, I don't know if you'll find one this clean. It came in great condition, and I'll go over most of the work that we did, but make sure to go to our website, davisautosports.com. for a full spec sheet, if you will. So in addition to all the services, engine seals, gaskets, fluids, we did suspension, pretty much shocks, brakes, all that sort of stuff. We did a ton of exterior cosmetics and a ton of pretty much full interior. Definitely went overboard as far as what it needed, but I just wanted to make a nice truck even nicer. And if I was going to keep one of these, I wanted to be as nice as we could possibly get it. When I bought this truck, I actually lived in a different house than what I live in now, and our garage status has changed. So I'm not going to keep this truck up here at the shop or keep it outside. So it's up for sale. It's never been outside since we finished it. And starting off up front bumper was removed, valance was removed, grille was removed, completely sanded down, stripped down, and repainted. So bumper cap, grille, and valance all removed off of the truck, painted. As you see, beautiful finish. All new lenses all the way around have been installed on the truck as well. Another thing that we did, and I think I'm gonna limit what we did paint wise, but I know all the fender flares were removed. All of the side paneling was removed. I'm gonna confirm on our listing on our website, but in this video, I'm pretty much going off the top of my head. Flare and rear bumper. None of those were bad. They were just, with a paint correction, they weren't gonna come back. And everything that we paint gets obviously completely removed. So even the bumper cap, that's not Armor All on there, finger dry as a bone. That is repainted. Anything black that's on the truck does not have Armor All. It's repainted, removed off of the truck, and painted. I believe this fender we may have, I will confirm in our listing exactly what panels were and were not. Essentially, the decision was left up to my body shop foreman. If we couldn't get the panel 95% perfect with a paint correction, then we were going to paint it. So that was pretty much the decision making on there. And if something is small, then obviously we were going to paint it. And everything, once again, removed off of the truck. To match and blend this paint is very, very hard. Maroons and burgundies are hard to begin with. And then on top of that, they have a natural sun fade. So as you'll see in this video, we're shooting this in 4K. The matching, the blending, it's all absolutely beautiful. And you're gonna get different shades based on how the camera is shooting anyways. But you're not gonna find a Z71 Tahoe with a body like this anywhere, unless there's a 10, 15,000 mile one floating around somewhere. It is that nice. Now, with that said, you're still gonna have some minor blemishes here and there. Check that out, just absolutely beautiful. We're not done with detailing this. There's a few things we're actually gonna, it's a real thing, we do buff glass. So all the glass is actually gonna get buffed as well. So one of the reasons the panels that we did not paint, we didn't paint any of the doors, we didn't paint the rear quarter panel, didn't paint the hood. One of the reasons it looks so good is because it came in great condition, but we did our full paint correction service. So if you're not familiar with that, on a truck this size, I probably have about 7 days with 2 of my guys just wet sanding and buffing and compounding this truck. Essentially what gets done is, depending on the panel, the condition of it, what we're trying to accomplish, we sand it with multiple grits of sandpaper. We'll start off with like a 1500 grit, then a 2000, then a 3000. That process by itself is very lengthy. We tape everything off. We take off stuff so the sandpaper doesn't hit it and scar it up. We tape off the edges. So just a lot of prep work. So once it's all sanded down, essentially what that process does, it takes a very thin layer of top clear coat off of it, which is where most of your imperfections truly are on a vehicle. They're not through the clear coat onto the paint, they're on the clear coat, whether it's hazing, dullness, all that sort of stuff, swirl marks. So we sand a very thin layer off, and then from there it's very hazy from the sanding. So multiple steps of high-speed compounds, buffing pads, different materials between compounds, polishes, different tools, brings that dullness from sanding back to life. And each step is getting it better and better and better. And your end result is actually paint that looks better than factory. The reason being is factory paint has a orange peel to it. It has imperfections. And every vehicle, we have our body shop over there, and we produce very, very, very nice show quality paint jobs. It's one of the things we're known for. And every vehicle that leaves our paint booth gets completely wet sanded for a show finish. And the difference between wet sanding and not wet sanding a vehicle out of the paint booth is huge. So it's a service we actually provide to a lot of people with high and exotic cars and everything else. So it's a combination of our paint work and the paint correction, which is why this truck looks the way it does. Now, with that said, paint correction doesn't apply any paint or clear coat. So if there's any previous scratches, we actually touch up the paint, and then we add clear coat, and then we let that dry, and then we wet sand it and buff it. So even light areas that may have been touched up were done so before the paint correction, so that the scratches were also paint corrected. So you are going to have a couple little blemishes that have touch-up paints and all that sort of stuff on it. It is a 2003. It's not a brand new truck, but a perfect truck for somebody that wants a great daily driver, or if you own. These typically go, my customer base, a second home. They go there, that way they have sort of a nostalgic but very, very reliable, beautiful truck. Lake house, beach house, mountain house, whatever it may be. Just a absolutely beautiful, beautiful truck. The top rack was also painted. So like I said, everything that's black on this truck was removed and painted besides the actual side steps, but the molding and all that was. The interior was just something for me. I'm big on interiors. That's where you're obviously spending most of your time. So I wanted this thing to be as perfect as possible. So we essentially gutted the interior. The dash stayed in place. Center console came out, seats came out, carpet came out, everything. While we had the bare bone floor pans, it got completely cleaned up, scrubbed. Even though you don't see it, I'm not putting new carpet back on stuff without thoroughly cleaning it and everything else. So door panels, absolutely incredible condition. It's all original. We just cleaned it up and it's beautiful. We have new carpet from front to back. Every square inch of carpet is brand new. We do have an upholstery department here for our restoration facility. All new leather seats, headrests, armrest, every square inch of leather on the seats is all brand new. And as we walk around on the inside, I'll show you all that. Same thing with the headliner, every square inch of headliner, trim, sunroof, visors, everything is also completely done. One of the downfalls on GM SUVs from this era is a lot of the dye on the dash fades. So any part that was faded, if there was, we touched it up. I told my upholstery department, if it needs dyeing, let's strip it down and re-dye it. So this bezel may have been dyed, it may not have, but what you'll typically see on tan interiors is the dye comes off and you see black behind it. Same thing with the airbag cover and the glove box. So as you'll see as we make our way over there, and we do have a couple buttons that we bought. In full disclosure, the volume button has a little bit of wear, but we have those. They're just not installed yet. And we have a couple buttons for the radio as well. That way all of the buttons are perfect, clean. Carpet, as mentioned, spotless. Jams, everything beautiful. All the seals are in perfect condition. Just a absolutely stunning truck. We did the pockets in the back. All the upholstery was done here in-house. Now that's just a natural curve. What you're seeing over there is that right there. Vents were all cleaned up, put back in. All the lights work. All the grab handles thoroughly cleaned. Once again, look at the seals. We did a same color stitching on the seats as well. When we put seats back in and all that sort of stuff, any cover panels like this, if they're faded or have scratching, those get dyed as well. All the brackets get painted if they need to. You'll be surprised over the years how these brackets just wear out and don't nearly look as good as these do. So this is a combination of my guys dyeing all the feet, as we call them, and covers. Carpet in the back is also brand new. You out of here, Larry? Yeah. Okay, have a good night, bud. Hey, Jonathan, I'll be in there in a little bit, okay, bud? Rear cargo, carpet's all new. Cargo's in really, really good condition. Usually there's a lot of gouges from just shoving stuff in here over the years. These often break. This section right here is very clean. common spot right here on these. We actually have a 2500 in our body shop that we're doing, and we're having to refinish this section right here. So our carpet that we use is very, very thick. It's actually thicker than a factory carpet. It has a extra thick backing behind it, as well as insulated pads. So top of the line carpet will last a very, very long time. All the power seats and lumbar work exactly as they should, as well as the heated seats. Yeah, if you look up Tahoe, Suburbans, Yukons online and just look at this entire glove box, look at the surrounding airbag, grab handle, bezel, you're not going to find one where you don't see the die coming off. Both keys, both remotes, books and manuals, all your inserts for your cup holders, all intact. Like I mentioned, we do have that button, dash, no cracking whatsoever. We went ahead and redid this guy as well. So whether you're looking for a great family vehicle, a second vehicle, a vacation home vehicle, this is it right here. Beautiful, beautiful truck. You would be hard pressed to find one nicer. I'm typically not a fan of maroons and burgundies, but it fits this truck. Snowflake wheels, and these trucks are absolutely climbing in value right now. They've been for a while, but they're definitely at an all-time high right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to contact us. 855-955-3377. Thanks for. All right, guys, so we had to shoot this beautiful truck outside in the natural light. I'll do a quick walk around. I'm gonna get in here and drive it here in a moment, but I wanted you guys to see this in the natural sunlight. Now it is pollen season. You can literally see me wiping pollen off. It's stacking up everywhere. That's just pure pollen right there. So that's in the parking lot. That's that right there. All you're seeing in this paint is just reflections in clouds. Let's go ahead and take this thing on a test drive. So literally every single electrical component has been fully tested. They all work absolutely perfect. The sunroof is open. Tilt also works. Perfecto. Beautiful day, so I'm gonna leave the window down. Parking lot is yellow. We got some rain too, which helped out, but that's all pollen right there. So one of the things that I forgot to mention earlier in the video when I was showing you guys the upholstery, the leather seats, when we do our seats here, we also rebuild all the bolsters. So, and what made me think about that is sitting in this seat right now, noticing how nice and thick the cushions are and the bolsters and how they feel new. So besides the new material, the foam's been built up. You literally are sitting in as new as a seat as you're gonna possibly get between the foam, the leather. So I have owned over the years, you know, this truck, between the pickup truck version of, you know, Silverado, Sierra, Yukon, Denali, this platform of driveline essentially came out in 99 for the pickup truck, and then this rounder body SUV started in 2000. And 2000 to 02 was the older interior. 03, this being an 03, they revamped the interior. But these trucks, I personally had a Suburban years ago with 290,000 miles, original engine, original transmission. The only thing we ever did to that truck was a AC compressor as far as replacement of a non-wear item. And these things, one of the reasons they're so loved is the driveline. It's a great engine, great transmission, and they really, really do last a very long time, very reliable. We did not replace the windshield, but it has recently been replaced. Shows very well. Cruise control is working perfectly. Now with 160,000 miles, obviously we would not have put this amount of work into this truck if it wasn't a candidate by the mechanical condition and everything else. Sort of hence while I was speaking about how long these things last. And like I said, the service history of this truck is very impressive. It was dealer service since day one of ownership. it was at the dealership for a minimum of 33 separate service dates on Carfax, and each one of those dates, obviously there was multiple services done while it was in the shop. So just shy of 35 records on the Carfax report. And there was, you know, honestly very little that we had to do. We did some preventative maintenance stuff on it just to knock it out of the way and not have to worry about it. But the engine is flawlessly smooth, transmission flawlessly smooth. I mean, no rear end slap. Sometimes on these trucks in the higher mileage, you'll get a bit of some loose rear ends, and when you hit it, there's a little bit of clunk from time to time, and not the case. You see perfect oil pressure. I'll drop down in speeds a little bit and give it a 3/4 acceleration just to put the driveline under a little bit of stress. Hard on the brakes. Brakes are perfect. Good downshifting gears will get the RPMs up. I mean, just super smooth. I mean, as smooth as it gets. Top of the steering wheel is absolutely perfect, and this is an original steering wheel, which also is a really good indicator of the previous owner. Usually these things in this area are very worn out to the point where you don't even see the grain anymore. There's no gunk, there's no stickiness, there's no wearing of the leather, just extremely clean original steering wheel. And we rewrap steering wheels all the time in our upholstery department, and this was not needed. The only wear on this is just the volume, and usually this whole button is worn out. So that concludes the video, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed viewing it, and if you have any questions about the Tahoe, feel free to contact us, 855-955-3377. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure to go to our website. We are shooting this, it's April 2024. So if you're viewing this on YouTube, go to our website. If we're beyond probably May or June of 2024, the truck is most likely sold. But if you go to our website, davisautosports.com, click on inventory, and then go to our Tahoe Yukon page, you'll see it marked as available or sold. Thanks for viewing. Have a good day.